This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. All right, tonight we are going to discuss the tragedy that occurred in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Unfortunately, there was another mass shooting. It took place on Wednesday, August 27th, while a group of school-age children, ages elementary to, I believe, high school age, 15 years old, were attending a church mass. And while this was taking place, an individual by the name of Robin Westman decided to open fire on said children. Subsequently, the abuser, the tormentor, the murderer decided that they would commit suicide after basically shooting several people, resulting in two children dying. One little boy, one little girl, ages 8 and 10, and several other people being wounded. So let's talk about this. And I'm pretty sure everybody that has children or guardians, charge of children, stuff like this could be rather upsetting, because I'm pretty sure that when these individuals, these parents dropped their children off at school that morning, they didn't think about this may be the last day that they see their children. So God bless all those individuals in Minneapolis. God bless the parents. God bless the children. God bless all the school faculty members and things like that, because again, they all require prayer and God's anointing. So that being said, let's get into it. So we got 10 questions, and we got about an hour and 45 minutes to go through these. All right. Ladies, I'm gonna come to you first, and we're gonna, just so to be clear, everyone, listen to the questions thoroughly before answering them. And if you have a rebuttal, wait until the individual is finished. Preferably wait until everybody gets a chance to answer the question. That way we don't get caught up with everybody trying to talk over one another. But you guys are all intelligent, so let's have an intelligent discussion. All right. We are going to go to question number one. Question number one. Have school shootings become an American epidemic? And if so, how do we stop these tragedies from reoccurring in our respective communities? Let's go to Patsy first.
Just kind of like if someone has a mental health issue, just like deny their access, because if you know they have a mental health issue and they and just kind of like have a law that they can't own a gun, limit access, have stronger gun control, and be adamant about putting out their like issues, and not making it so easy to have guns readily accessible, you know? Even if they're doing gun shows, at least like make sure they're adhering to the gun laws and how to distribute them, and just making sure like people can't actually buy the gun right then and there, you know? Like get that pre-approval if a person is going to go to a gun show for whatever reason, you know, to check it out, you know, view stuff online that they're going to have at the gun show, and make a pre-request for a specific gun if you're going to. So this way they're already vetted for their gun when they're trying to access and purchase any type of gun. And also like um make sure it's just like a regular gun, like a no more than a hunting rifle. No one actually needs like any military style guns, and just have a law against that. If you're not in the military or some kind of policing force like SWAT or something like that, or specialized um
Yeah.
police, then you do not get a military style gun.
Okay.
No,
All right.
no.
Tanya,
Repeat the question.
has school shootings become an American epidemic? And if so, how do we prevent these tragedies from reoccurring in our respective communities?
Yes, it has. Yes, it is an American epidemic. And to keep it from reoccurring, you need to have national gun laws, not the state to state gun laws, because different states have different requirements for gun ownership. It needs to be a national registry. What's the proper word I'm looking for? It needs to be a national requirement. All the laws need to be the same nationwide, is what I'm trying to say. Like
Uniform.
each state is got different laws and different ages that you could buy it. And if they had a national registry, then you would know who should be able to have a gun and who shouldn't.
Yes.
Oh, well said, well said. Duchess, what do you say? Turn your mic on, Key. All right, we'll come back to you. All right, Bert, same question.
I believe it is an epidemic, but also to prevent it, we need more, not necessarily just gun laws, but we need more parental guidance, you know. I think you need to pay attention to these kids. You know that kid is
Kate has left the
something.
meeting. Kate has joined the meeting.
Go ahead, B.
So, you just got to pay attention to your kids and the red flags and the signs, and it all ends up to being later on to who this person is developed to be. If this was, I don't know if this was a young kid.
He was 23 years of age.
Right. So there were signs at 13, at 14, at 7, at 8, that I guess people are missing. So we should be paying more attention to your children too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kiana, you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, Duchess. So the question is, has school shooters become an American epidemic? And if so, how do we prevent these tragedies from reoccurring in our respective communities?
Yes, it's an epidemic. The problem is, like Bird said, I feel like there are parents to blame. I believe that case where the two parents went to jail for their child's killing of other children at a school should be the blueprint. Like if you aren't going to be a parent, we're going to make you legally responsible when your kid does something, because more than likely you've given them the tools, you've uh encouraged their entertainment with guns and shooting people and hunting and all this other crap at a young age. So you instilled some of those thoughts, and you not being a parent and taking care of their mental health, you're responsible. That's one. Like Tanya said, there also needs to be a national gun laws, like what we do in Massachusetts versus Texas is insane. Like, we don't have a license to carry, and Florida has an open carry, and you don't even have to have a license. So
Sean Edwards has joined the
Wow.
meeting.
it's crazy.
Okay.
And we need to stop letting these people be glorified
Mm.
so that these kids aren't fixated on, last year's shooting, Columbine's, what is it, 15 years shooting, or maybe it's 20 or something like that. It's ridiculous. So that's it.
Okay. Robert, what do you say?
Mute button.
I agree with everyone.
Mute.
Okay, Gregory, has school shootings become an American epidemic? And if so, how do we prevent these tragedies from reoccurring in our respective communities?
They have become an epidemic, and the prevention comes from, I would like to say everybody should have guns and be educated on guns. They should do something mandatory where people are taking shooting lessons and stuff and having this type of knowledge, because it won't be so
Kay
easy for
has left the
somebody to
meeting.
figure I'm
Kay
gonna
has
pick up
joined
a
the
gun
meeting.
and go shoot up a school knowing that all the teachers have guns. And once again, you need mental evaluations for this type of stuff. Firearms and crazy people don't mix.
Well said, well said. Sean, same question.
I believe it an epidemic. Yeah, people have become fascinated with it, and that's crazy to say that. But like the rest of the panel has said, I mean, I agree with them. Like, you know, people are easily influenced, and they go with bad word here, but it's almost like a trend.
Hmm. Good,
For
good.
those that feel strong in whatever they believe in, thinking that that's the answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well said, well said. Y'all all hit some valid points. All right, let's go on to number two.
Wait, you said if we had another statement
Well,
at the end. So all I want to say is that no civilian should have weapons of mass destruction. And I think that a lot of these games that deal with a lot of shooting and killing has a lot to do with it as well, with the fascination.
okay. Anybody else got a rebuttal or statement?
I got a rebuttal. Violent video games have been out for 30, let's even say 40, because I'm gonna say most of us grew up on some video games that weren't so uh peaceful and popular. And we're not going out to commit these crimes, and our children haven't gone out to commit these crimes. So I disagree. We don't say that about movies. It's always video games and rap music. And I disagree.
Well, I will say this. in some situation, depending on the individual, the group of individuals, they do say that it's due to uh the type of music you're listening to, the type of movies, the type of games, the type of entertainment. They some people, depends on who you're talking to, that
I'm
will
gonna pi-
will try to use those excuses. I believe there are excuses. Someone.
to piggyback to comment to what Sister K said and to piggyback off of what you said, Sister K, those reports that they come up with, they take it from those individuals that have committed these particular crimes and look at what the common denominator is for them. I found that out a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh. And and I dare say that if you are going to value the perspective of those individuals, so I'm not certain, Sean, as to what you're relating to, or what you're talking about. Are you referring to them interviewing the actual shooters, or the people that are affected by it? Because what I was going to say is, if you get the perspective of the actual villain, they are going to make all type of excuses as to why they did what they did. They're going to look for ways out of the trouble, so to speak. So if I could shift the blame and stuff like that, that's what I'm referring to. What was you referring to?
Got you. Well, to the to the part that you thought I was referring to, as far as if they interviewed the shooters or looked into the background
Got it.
of them.
Got it.
That's where they came up with their studies from,
Got it. All
whether they were alive or dead.
right. Anybody else got something to add? All right. We're gonna move on to question number two. Question number two. Should media be allowed to interview a child after a traumatic event, either witnessing or experiencing it? Should they be allowed to do so? Bert, what do you say?
I don't think kids need to be interviewed if you live that type of trauma. Absolutely not. Maybe counseling, but no interviews for the media.
Say that, say it, say it. Preach, my brother, preach. I agree with you totally. You got more?
Nah.
G, what do you say?
I agree with Bird because at some point you're actually glorifying it. You might not want to, but all media is media, period. Whether it's bad or good coverage.
Okay. Robbie, what do you say?
I agree with Bird. I believe my answer to that would have been I think that just add to their trauma without no counseling.
Okay. Sean, do you think that these media outlets should be allowed to interview these children after these tragedies occur? Um, I don't know. What do you think?
Um, because I'll say yes, and it also depends on the parents, because are they getting permission to do so? Like which age group of children are you referring to? When
Uh,
they're right that
so I'm referring more so to the I'll say the elementary level.
I no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if you can't talk to the police, to be investigated by them without your parents present under the age of 15, 16, or whatever. Why should the media be able to walk up to a child and say and ask them questions about, because do they even really understand? Have they processed what they just actually experienced?
Right.
Okay. Duchess?
Yes.
Should the media be allowed to talk to a child after witnessing or experiencing a traumatic
I
event?
figured. Alrighty, I'm parked.
I say no, depending on the age of the child and do they have parents' consent.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't want my kid at a young age information. Usually they give a first and a last name information broadcast all over the country, and my child went through something and they haven't been able to process it, but now their image and voice is all over the place.
Right.
Like it, like it. Patsy?
No, not without the parents' permission. Even if 14, 15, 16 years old, and even if the teachers, the principal, assistant, any of the staffing at the school, if the parents aren't there, should be shadowing over these kids and be not allow the media to approach any of the children, even um the priest and whoever else is running the church should be shielding the children until the parents are able to give permission for the media to interview them. And even at that, they should be um like mask somehow shading their faces and only using their first names. If they're gonna use any part of their last name, put like Diane M or Jody B, so nobody knows the whole name of their child that's being interviewed. Even the teenagers. So that way you're protecting the child. So anybody that's gonna be out here stalking after they're shooting, especially pedophiles, they don't have access to those children and their personal information that it's already out there for
Enemy has joined the
snooping and
meeting.
whatever else.
Okay. Tanya?
I'm gonna say no. I agree with Kiana and Patsy, and I'm gonna say that no, they shouldn't have permission. He shouldn't. They should have never showed his face or anything or interviewed the child at all, because if you have a victim,
Robert Brewington
young people can't even testify. You know what I'm saying? And they don't, when if someone committed a crime, they don't want to show the young kid's face at all.
Right.
Because they're underage. But not just that. Who's to say that by them interviewing this young man that he don't get a what's that that complex where they think that this is cool, and then they grow to become doing something like that because they want to be in the news.
Okay. Timmy, welcome. Question is, should media be allowed to interview a child after witnessing or experiencing a tragic event? You gotta turn your mic on, Tim.
Where the kid, well, I don't think they should. I think they protect the kid's identity. So if they interview him, they're not showing his face. They just, reporting on their interview that they had with the kid.
Mm-hmm. All right, hold tight, Timmy. I'm gonna answer this question. I'm gonna come right back to you. So, should the media be allowed to talk to a child after witnessing or experiencing a tragic event? I don't think so. Because we live in a world where we have a bunch of trifling mother suckers and we got to protect the children. And you can't protect the children if you're thrusting them in front of the camera and you're asking them questions because these children may be subjected to some type of retaliation. You know how this world is. The next thing you know, this child is receiving hate mail, people talking about they snitching and all this other stuff. I think not. Timmy, the next question is, can you please tell me what type of person opened fires on a group of defenseless children while attending church?
A sick motherfucker. I think people who do things like that, they got issues and they just evil, pure evil.
Okay. Bird, what do you say?
I agree with Timothy. Obviously, this is a person that's probably suffered abuse, trauma, and took it out in the wrong way on the wrong people.
Okay. G, it's on you.
Can I get the question again?
Could you please tell me what type of person opened fires on a group of defenseless children while in church?
An obvious psychopath, somebody that has some type of childhood trauma, some type of chemical imbalance.
Okay. Patsy?
Someone who does not believe in God, so therefore he doesn't believe in himself and is hating on other people because they, from the outside in, they look like they have a better life than that person does. So they're gonna take it out on anyone else, especially children, because these kids seem like they have a better childhood than what they had.
Okay. Duchess?
Yes. A soulless person. A person who's I believe I don't believe that any of these children weren't crying out for help before and that they were ignored.
Mm. Mm. Tanya, what do you say?
I'm going to agree with the panel. A sick individual, someone with chemical imbalance, a soulless person, a person that allowed he listened to the wrong spirit.
Mm.
He came to steal, kill, and destroy.
Robert Brewington has joined the meeting.
Mm. I agree. I totally agree with that. You got more?
No, that's it.
Okay. Robert, can you please tell me what type of person opened fires on a group of defenseless children while attending church? You gotta turn your mic on. Okay, Sean, what do you say?
A person that does not know, believe, or have Christ in their life.
Can I ask you something, Sean? Because I just want to be clear about this. Is Mass the same as communion?
Is who?
Is Mass the same as communion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I want to be clear about this before I say what I'm about to say. So, fun fact, y'all. So during my research, this is what I heard. This individual had like stickers or notes, pasties, take those little yellow things, whatever. He had something written on his clip, right? And on the clip, and I'm referring to the clip that goes into the assault weapon. Where is your God? You see? So right there gives me enough insight about this individual. I feel like you got an issue with God. You're taking it out on those that God is said to protect. Well, I know that He protects them, but it tells you that in the Bible, God watches over the children, watches over us all, but more so the children, because these are the children that rely upon the protection of adults and stuff around them. This individual, and let's be clear about this. This is not a a person of child age. This is not an adolescent. This is someone that is of 23 years old. So that person knows right from wrong. And uh, the things they wrote, I just feel like they got an issue with God. So their assault on these children was because they wanted to offend God in the worst way possible. And that's my opinion about that. Robert, are you with us?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. What's the question?
The question is, could you please tell me what type of person opened fires on a group of defenseless children while attending church?
I'm gonna say somebody that's not happy with their self. Somebody
Zoom audio. 3
that
minutes. 49
that must
seconds.
hate God.
Button.
Hate whatever that church stands
Zoom
for.
audio. 3 minutes. 55
Maybe he
seconds.
died. He was
Button.
sacrificing some type of
Zoom
life to
audio.
get to
4
heaven or get
minutes.
to the devil.
2 seconds.
I don't know.
Button.
I know it's a cruel, evil, and
Zoom
I don't
audio.
think that he
4
knows
minutes.
the Lord.
9 seconds. Button.
Okay.
Mute.
Let's go to the next question. And I want to make sure I get this one good. And you guys are doing very good with these questions. Okay. Question number 4. Should places of worship be allowed to employ armed guards to patrol both the inside and outside of the facility, the structure, the property? Let's go to Timmy first. Timmy? You got to turn your mic on, Tim. Okay. Patsy, same question.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't think that, because that's how a lot of vigilante things get started. And then because you gave them, it's like giving a license to kill. So they can make up any type of reason why. Just like the other guys that that killed Trayvon. You know, he used that him having a gun license to kill, and then turned it like this kid was pointing something at him and all that. So I think it's just um, you sending the wrong message, making people thinking that it's okay to kill.
Okay, well said, well said. Patsy, same question.
Yeah, what was the question?
Should places of worship be allowed to employ armed guards to patrol both the inside and outside of the property?
Um, that's a very debatable question. Um, I don't think so because it also tells you like when you go to church, anybody goes to church, that's a safety zone, whether it's church, the synagogue, or whatever worship place you go to, depending on what your religion is, what your beliefs are. I don't think so because when you go to worship God in your own way, that's a safety net. That's like children going to school. They, you got the school police in there, but it's not really
Robert
visible whether or
Pennington
not
has
they have
left the
a guard
meeting.
on them readily available. I don't ever remember going to school and there was like in Boston public school officer. So because it's a safe space. So why would you have an armed guard? But um, given the circumstances where there's more and more churches and places of worship that are being attacked
Tony
in this
has joined the
manner,
meeting.
maybe it should be, or maybe they should, like this church once the services started,
Mhm.
having the doors locked so that way individuals like this cannot come in the building because
Fire
apparently
hazard. It's a fire
they
hazard.
have they have these type of protocols, especially during the school hours.
Okay. Bert, what do you say? Should places of worship be allowed to hire armed guards to patrol both the inside and outside of their property?
I don't want to necessarily, I wouldn't agree with private, maybe detailed officers be posted and paid for by the churches, maybe, but someone at a legal capacity that is trained to stop someone that is coming to hurt people, but locking doors will be a fire hazard in case something happened, no one can get out. But I definitely think there should be some sort of secure sense of security. Church was supposed to be your safe haven, like Patsy said, but nowadays people aren't going to stop feeling safe enough to want to go to church.
Mm, the devil's a liar. Let's see. Tanya, same question.
Repeat it again, please.
Should places of worship be allowed to hire armed guards to patrol the inside and outside of their property?
Whew. I'm gonna agree with. I heard some good answers from other people on the panel, and like Patsy said, that church was supposed to be a safe place, and we've had people come in and shoot pastors and shoot up the churches. So I don't see anything wrong with having um, people patrolling outside the church and inside the church. But that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants to steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to steal your safety for and going to church, make you feel afraid to go in church and know about God and know who you are in God, what your relationship, what your purpose and stuff is. So And the attack on the churches is an assault on God Himself. So that's how I feel about it.
I agree. G Money, what you say?
It goes back to what I said earlier. If the pastor and everybody else in the church is strapped, I think people would think twice about coming in and trying to do a mass shoot.
Okay. Kiana, what do you say?
Should they be able to? Why not? As someone else said, it could be discreetly done. I'm under the impression there's quite a few that already do. So, um, um, will it be a deterrent? No, because I believe if somebody's determined to be reckless with their life and harm other people, they'll still take the opportunity, like waiting for Double Dutch, to jump in head first. But they should be allowed to. Why not? Does it take away from, I mean, you can believe in God and still, what does the word say? Faith without works is dead. So
You got more?
no more scriptures.
Well said. Mr. Brimage, same question. Okay. Sean, should places of worship be allowed to hire armed guards to patrol both the inside and outside of the property?
Yes, they should. And no disrespect to my panel, I thought this was a trick question until I heard some of the responses. With the way that the world is today, let alone how it's been over the past 20 years, where you hear of shootings in synagogues, churches, um, temples, stuff like that. How else are these places to secure themselves? Jesus himself even endorsed his disciples to be armed and to protect himself in self-defense.
Yes, because when Peter felt that the guard was offending our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, he cut his ear off with a sword. I think that sword was equivalent to an armed a weapon. What do you say, Sean?
That's exactly what that was. But there's even more where Christ even said, to his disciples, he said, let one who has no sword buy one.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
I said it once, I say it again. The Bible is a good read. And I think that we need to read more because we'll find out that there's a lot of things that it seems that current law exists from. Basically, it stems from the Bible. If you read some of the scripture.
I can give you that scripture because I used to have this debate years ago on it.
Go ahead and
That's
give it.
and somebody correct. I should pull this up, but I believe it was Luke 22 and 36. And let us where Jesus had told his disciples, he said, and for the one, let the one who has no sword sell his cloak and buy himself one. Pull that up, make sure I'm quoting that right.
And isn't there an amendment in the Constitution of sorts that says that you have the right to bear arms?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's
but that's the amendment. The amendment, believe it or not, like
that's not the amendment. That's actually
that's a not the Constitution. What is that?
The Bill of Rights?
no, not the
No.
Bill of
What
Rights.
is that?
It's a constitutional, not amendment. Right. One of your
Yeah,
rights.
it's just one of your rights.
Second Amendment.
Your first right is free speech and assembly, and your second one is the right to bear arms.
Right,
And then
and
don't
that's
ask me the rest
just
of them, except for like
right. But that
14
goes
of them.
to us as individuals. What our rights as individuals are to have. And a lot of times you have that debate, trying to separate church from state.
Sean, you was right. 22:36.
Okay, thank you.
Y'all getting the education tonight. You're getting some biblical and you're getting some civil.
But can I say something? And I'm just speaking, and I mean no disrespect here. I'm talking to our panel members, the ones that really believe that the church shouldn't be able to hire, because I like secured, like trained, secured security. Y'all really don't believe that should be?
I think that it
No,
should
I was
be a prerequisite.
talking to the ones to my panel members that really felt like they shouldn't, because they use the term that the church is supposed to be a safe place. And so because it's supposed to be a safe place, but we have on record, we're even talking about it right tonight, how churches are being attacked in this manner. How else are we supposed to, how else is the church supposed to protect themselves?
Y'all, for those that opposed it,
You rely on the law, the police that are there to protect and serve. You're supposed to rely on them, then bringing in outside, maybe vigilante forces to come and do
But
that.
it's no, the question was asking for trained armed security.
Right, but that would cost more than you would hire a detail officer that's there to fire a shot and is lawfully able to fire a deadly shot. Not many
Trained armed
security agencies
security is lawfully
to
able
fire
to
a
do
deadly
these
shot.
things, correct?
They're not trained to fire deadly shots, of course. They're trained to shoot and patrol and secure, but I don't know if they're authorized to fire a death shot.
But that's what he was asking. Like, whatever their responsibilities are, they would adhere to that. But we should not hire them, because they can also be a preventive mechanism, correct? No?
Yeah,
Yes,
Karen, I
you're
agree they
right.
could deter people, but again, you see, if you go to banks, you see those security with armed and guns. They're not able
Mm-hmm.
to shoot. They're not able to intervene if there's a robbery. They're just basically there for show. If they shoot or draw their weapon, they lose their job.
I'd
That's
rather
that.
lose.
That's that particular security. That's how the banks operate. I was not aware of that.
Just because they got a firearm doesn't mean they can fire and shoot, let
So
alone have to fire a fatal shot.
can I ask you a question? So in that situation, right, when we know the potential outcome and we see what's happened, the proof is in the pudding, the writing's on the wall. We know these individuals coming there to do harm to you and yours, right? So would you rather them lose their job or lose their life and subsequently yours?
And in an event, that's self-defense.
Exactly, because I feel like in that situation, they wouldn't have been allowed to have a firearm while working if such an occasion comes up where there are bank robbers and coming in there and threatening harm. So obviously, I'd rather them lose their job over shooting a bank robber than lose their life. You know, they might be getting harmed in the long run, but I'd rather see them shoot than lose a job and not shoot and lose a life.
So
we're talking about the protection of the church right now. So if they are permitted to have a weapon and they're hired to patrol and be security, if anything was to happen and they shot their firearm, that would be self-defense.
yes,
Exactly. I agree.
because
That's
you're
not
high.
true. If they're not shooting at the officer, his life is not in danger. He's not defending himself. If he fires at someone that's firing at other people, he won't never have that authority to do that other than a police officer or military.
But here's the thing, right?
How can you say that the shooter wasn't shooting at him even if he fired at him? He's in the group. He's in the situation.
I mean, I guess the gun laws go from state to state. Massachusetts, you cannot.
Robert,
You cannot fire on someone that's not firing on you. If someone pulls a gun out and starts shooting and you're a licensed security, they're not threatening you. Your life is not in danger. That's why
here's the thing.
your own life, not the lives of others, from like a security standpoint.
Okay.
But here's the thing: if you're
law enforcement, that's what the law enforcement department is there. They should get military involved if they really want to in their certain state or whatever it's going on, the National Guard or calling some reserves or there's other stuff in place other than like trying to set your own private security company. Because again, you got to have insurance, you got to be licensed. I just think it's a lot more.
You set yourself up for a lawsuit too.
Exactly.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you hire a security team or security company that is armed, they're there to protect. So if someone comes up to that church,
you better look it up before you say that.
Legality issue.
No, but listen, Bert. If they're shooting at the church, they're being hired to protect, so they have to shoot back. So that's part of what their job description is, to shoot back at the shooter that is shooting in the church.
Is assigned to shoot back? I just don't get it, but I hear what you're trying to say, but it's just not realistic.
And I do agree with Bird. I believe it's state to state. That's why we need to have a national
with a deadly shot.
So
maybe you can fire some pellets, you can fire some tear gas, you can fire everything but a lethal shot. So you can hire a security company, a beanbag will stop you, a tear gas pellet will stop you. It doesn't have to be fatality by a security company. So you ain't gonna get no security company that can file a fatal shot.
But you got to understand they got to defend themselves as well. So if you say shoot pellets and these people shooting real bullets at their ass, so you want to be on the same level playing field as they are.
So look it up, we'll see.
Pause. Everybody pause for a second.
Can I just interject?
Hold on 1 second, Kate.
Somebody was right. It is the. Go ahead.
Hold on 1 second, Kate, and then I'm gonna come right back to you. So again, well, at the risk of sounding redundant, we are referring to patrolling and protecting both the inside and the outside of the property. So that includes everything that's on the inside, including the people. But also, Kate, I think we got another person online too. Came into the discussion.
I don't know.
Mr. Conspiracy has left the meeting.
Go ahead and make your point.
Yes, the 10 amendments are known as the Bill of Rights.
Okay, so it was correct earlier on Bill of Rights, and it's one of the amendments.
Minister of Conspiracy joined.
So I heard another participant. It said Tony K. Who's that?
That's me.
Well, that's my friend Tony.
Okay, Tony. So I'm gonna give you a chance to answer that question too. Should places of worship be allowed to hire armed guards to patrol both the inside and outside of the property?
We have the right to religion, the right to worship in this country. So yes, my answer would be yes. On a moral level and on a legal, on a legal level, I'd have to check into the laws of each, whatever, wherever your church is. Because you don't want to, even if you shoot bean bags or pellets, somebody's going to sue you if they get injured, even though they're trying to kill you.
Okay, I'm gonna stay with you, Tony, because I'm gonna let you answer the next question. And I'm referring to the Minneapolis shooting. Was this a premeditated crime, and did the shooter have any accomplice?
Yeah. I'm sure it was. I think it was premeditated, but I don't know if there was accomplice. I don't know if they were accomplice. I don't know. Not that familiar with the story. I don't know if the parents were involved. He bought the weapons legally, so that's the second part of the question. I'm not sure how to answer that.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Patsy, same question.
Yeah, I think it's premeditated. It was never said that he had any accomplices and stuff. So yeah,
Google.
I don't think so.
Okay, Robert, same question. Was this crime premeditated, and did the shooter have an accomplice?
Mute my audio button.
I'm gonna say it was premeditated, but I don't know if he had anyone working with him. Behind what he did inside that church, we can speculate and say it has to be someone behind his plan, but I don't know for certain.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Duchess, what do you say?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So, and I'm referring to the individual known by the name of Robin Westman. Was this a premeditated crime, and did the shooter have an accomplice?
I don't know. Yes, it was premeditated, and I don't know if they had an accomplice. I don't know that information, so I can't speak to it.
Okay. Bird, what do you say?
I believe it was premeditated. I don't think this was just a random wake up this morning and let me go shoot a church and some children. There's probably been some demons floating in this person's head for quite some time. And is there an accomplice? I believe there's somebody else that knew his intentions or knew what he was going to do. And that may come out if they can track a cell phone or see who he's been calling and start looking into his friends and all of this other stuff, which I think they will be doing anyway. But most likely, most mass crazy people have other crazy friends.
I agree. I agree. Timmy?
Mute my audio.
Yeah, I don't think that he had an accomplice. I think he, like Bird said, he had a lot of issues. And what usually happens is that they don't be noticed, or those people just, oh, I never thought that he was like that, but there's signs that nobody pay attention to because they're into their own, businesses or whatever, their own business. So they're not paying attention to somebody who's going through something and they might blow them off and all that, far as, I can't talk right now. I got so that'll make a person
It has
snap
left the
too
meeting.
when they're trying to get help or trying to, conversate about what they're going through.
Okay. Gregory, what do you say? Was this premeditated crime? And if so, did he have an accomplice?
I don't know about the accomplice, but premeditated. I'm gonna get into my conspiracy bag real quick. It feels like when these people say that these are staged events, not meaning that it's fake, that it's happening, but somebody set it up. And you had this whole viral commercial that was just going viral about school shootings right before it was time to go back to school for the kids. So you got this kid where they're choosing to show you the clip art and stuff that he was right drawing cartoons and
Mm.
trying to make a
It has
deal with
joined the
the
meeting.
devil and shit with the suicidal notes and all this other stuff. So you got this stuff just floating around, and I can't help but think about they clone Tyrone, and maybe it is the media and the music, and somehow they are turning on a sleeper agent in somebody. And for some reason, these kids that do these mass shootings always have orange hair.
And this brings me back to an episode of Think About It Thursday when we talked about what was it? Something about programming, predictive programming.
Predictive programming.
There you go. So, and thank you, Gregory, for bringing that to our attention because it does seem like that they was trying to program this person or trigger something because again, what type of message is the media sending where you would basically reenact or re-trigger that type of trauma, mental trauma, when you showing school shootings, knowing these children got to return to school. You are just stirring up stuff both in the children and the parents.
Exactly. Let's pick some people out the litter. Let's pick the crazy person and the people that are scared of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tanya, what do you say?
I'm going to say that it was premeditated. And I don't know if he had any accomplices, but I'm going to jump on what y'all was talking about this predictive programming. The media is bought and paid for. I'm just going to say that. And so there could be some predictive programming involved in this for stuff to start happening because they want to send the National Guards in different states across the country. And I think that this place where the shooting happened is one of the places.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm gonna say about that.
Well, they killed two.
It's all part of a master plan.
Hold on, Tim. Tanya, you got more?
I'm just saying it's all part of a master plan. Martial law.
Well, that's the same. That's the same state that they killed the two senators, the senator and his wife.
Mm-hmm. So everybody pay attention to that, close attention to that. Sean, what's your views?
All right, question one more time, please.
So the question is, was this crime premeditated? And if so, did the shooter have an accomplice?
I believe it was premeditated. Whether or not he had an accomplice or not, I do not know. So I can't speak to that. But he definitely planned on doing this based on where he went and the statements that was made while he was doing what he was doing.
Okay. Stay right there, Sean. I'm gonna hit you with the next question. According to research, the FBI is saying that this was a hate crime. What do you think was the shooter's motive?
Me personally, based off of what I read and what I understood, he was attacking the church because they were against what he was trying to become.
From Tony K to everyone, Colin Washington's mother, a former employee of the school, new unread messages. You have a new message from
Yes, she was.
Washington's mother, a former employee of the school. From desktop list.
Yeah, she was. Go ahead, Sean. Continue.
No, that was it. He was he believed the church was against what he was trying to become, and he made an antagonizing
New
statement
unread messages.
or a what's the word I'm looking for? Condescending statement by saying, "Where is your God?
Yes.
Where is your God? If your God was so great and so this, that, and the other, why is he allowing me to do this?"
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
devil. That ain't God.
Yes. That's what we're talking about. This individual will make such statements like that. It's like it's demonic. It's demonic.
Isn't that what the Columbine kid said?
Oh, I don't know. I
Ain't
don't
no
know.
God help him. Ain't no
It was
God
two
help
of them.
him.
Okay. Well, let's get to let's let someone else get a chance to answer this question. G, what do you say? According to the FBI, this was a hate crime. What do you think that this individual's motive was?
I believe Sean hit it on the head because once again they showed, and now it just feels like there's so much acceptance of demonic stuff right now and Satanism, boys painting their nails black and gothic type of stuff going on. It's almost like they're programming these kids once again. So you see it. I don't know if you guys seen the little clips of him going to, like, I don't know what type of, it's like a fortune teller machine and it got the devil in it or something.
Oh,
And he drew a comic of it and wrote in Arabic or something. So it's kind of crazy that he had those type of motives to promote that type of stuff.
that's crazy. B, what do you say, Bert?
Go ahead. Tell me the question.
So the question is, according to the FBI, this was a hate crime. What do you believe the individual's motive was?
If it was a hate crime, it's killing a double race. I mean, I don't know if this is a black church, or I don't know what race or culture these kids that were, what kind of church this was, or I'm not really sure all of that. But
Church.
They said it was attack on religion.
so the hate crime is the religious that he's attacked on, whether it's Catholic, Christian,
Catholic.
Protestant. So he went after, and I would even guess he might have been, done wrong by the Catholic, by the Catholic religion, or
Aha!
pastor or reverend or whatever they are, Monsignor in the Catholic religion, might have did some foul play back in the day and maybe have affected him emotionally and affected him physically to make him act out. And, our vortex in our brain processes, yeah, he knows right or wrong, but there's something imbalanced that's, neglecting wrong.
I was waiting for someone to touch that. Go ahead, B.
I definitely believe this guy has been, victimized, maybe that caused this. We can't really say, but that's just me speculating on, why someone would actually do something as heinous as this to affect children. You didn't go in attempting to try to kill adults. You were trying to kill children there, and that's insanity.
Yes.
And
Yes.
unfortunately, he took his own life, but that kind of probably would have been proven.
Mm, mm.
Because you
But
can't be normal. There's no normalcy in this act. There's nothing to excuse this act. This is just complete and utter insanity that someone did something like this. Anyone that does this is insane mentally.
Speak on it. Duchess, what do you say? Turn your mic on, King.
Yeah, I heard you. I believe. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
So the question is,
Heard is right.
you got it. So
Go ahead.
according to the FBI, this was a hate crime. What do you believe the shooter's motive was?
Probably his maybe he has some disdain for the Christian church values that, obviously if his mother worked there, I'm pretty sure she was a big proponent of, because I believe that the person was trans. So that's pretty
Aha!
much goes against Christian religion. So I'm pretty sure that his mother, I don't know about his father, was probably against his lifestyle, his beliefs, and she might have, because a lot of these children feel a certain way at a certain age, maybe she withheld her love and affection or chastised him for wanting to be a female and all these other things. So I'm pretty sure that played a big part. Not only his parents, but his teachings, because he went to that school too. So the his lifestyle and mindset was against his indoctrination of what he was raised as.
Hmm.
But I just don't understand, why would you kill innocent kids that has nothing to do with with an adult or the adults did to you? Why you didn't go and just
Right.
assassinate all of them?
Not no little
Why
kids.
you go and target innocent kids? They can't fight back.
Because Uncle T, once again, the children are precious to God. So
Yo,
we got this dude into Satan worship, like I'm trying to tell you. I don't know if you guys seen his drawings once again, but look into his drawings. You're gonna see the stuff he was drawing and how that kid thinks.
That's
Okay.
my point. No one saw this. No one saw these drawings, these parents, these whoever.
They
That's where
claim not
Most
until
likely his parents know that he's on the
they
Yeah,
dark side.
I
unfortunately
believe it.
unfortunately they don't find this stuff out until after the heinous act is committed. So there was no way to thwart it.
Well,
Patsy,
can I
go ahead.
can I interject? That's
Patsy.
what happens when you don't be a parent, and there's no such thing as a closed room in my house. There's
yeah.
no such as you staying in your room 24/7 all day. I'm cleaning up that room. I'm going inside that room. So you're a bad parent.
Yep.
Not sorry.
Stop there. That's the root of it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Patsy, jump right in.
yeah, I do believe it was a hate crime,
Mhm.
and he didn't. He hated the fact that it was a religious thing, and he doesn't believe in God, so it goes against what he believed. Um, and to kind of prove a point to the adults in the congregation and whoever was running the show and whatever, he shot at the kids to hurt the adults.
Mm. Tony, let's get your views. The FBI are saying that this was a hate crime. What do you think the shooter's motive was?
So I think if I'm not incorrect, hate crime goes into the area of religion or race or particular, more ideological thing. I think the guy was crazy. Not to be insensitive. I think it was more that and him dealing with. I think probably his parents were kind of critical of his lifestyle, and I think it was kind of a reaction to that, just a reaction to his. Well, I don't know what their family dynamics were, no idea, but I think it was more of a reaction, an outcry, or whatever to however he was raised, however he, the fact that his mother worked at the school before, that kind of leads me to believe that it was more not on a hate crime basis, but more of a reaction to his personal experience or struggle or whatever.
Well said, well said. Tanya, what's your views?
I'm I think it could be both. It could be a retaliation on his personal relationship with the church and his parents, but I also think it was a hate crime. If he was worshiping the devil, that's definitely a hate crime against God, against religion or God, however you want to put it in those terms. The other person who committed suicide tried led Jesus to the cross. I mean, even though that was what his goal was to do in the first anyway, but he didn't know what role he was playing, and he committed suicide after he felt he betrayed Jesus. So this is the enemy yet again coming to steal, kill, and destroy.
Mm, mm. We're gonna keep hearing this tonight. Sean, what's your views?
Did I answer this question, sir?
I'm not
Yeah,
certain.
he was the first one.
That was
Okay.
the first one.
All right. So if everybody got a chance to answer it, all right, I'm gonna answer it. So hate crime, hate crime.
Muted.
What was his motive? I think it was a hate crime. And I think that it was both an attack on religion and an extension God and the children. And the motive, I am inclined to believe that it was something far more sinister. I agree with Bird. He touched base on this earlier. There might have been some an act of pedophilia that took place. Perhaps someone within the church touched this child wrongly, raped, or did something to this child, and this child internalized this until he felt like that he was strong enough to strike back. I think it was a cowardly act. That's just my opinion. But something sinister may have took place with him within his childhood, and he did not get the necessary counseling therapy to help him get past this situation. And this is how he decided to deal with his inner demons. And again, people, I said this last week, I'm going to say it again. This is why it is very important to get your inner child a hug, so you can become mature enough so you can deal with the issues at hand. Because if someone did touch this individual as a child, this child is now still dictating what is taking place. The child is crying out, help me. They're doing it again. And you're reacting like a child. That's just my assessment of the situation.
He cried for help at some point, and no one heard that.
That's that. And if he had an issue with God because he called out to God and he felt like God did not answer him, still, that is your issue with God, not the church, not the children.
Well, can I just add that maybe maybe in to the church, that since his mother was a former employee, maybe it did happen to him and he told his mother about it, and the mother went and confronted him and they let her go.
Go ahead, Tanya. Robin, mute your phone.
Mute my.
Go ahead,
I said that maybe like y'all said, someone did something to him in the church and he told his mother, and the mother confronted him and they let her go. And that could be a reason too, that he let his inner demons talk him into going to do and commit that heinous act.
But it I think they do a lot of these people who do these type of things. they do a lot of researching and watching movies and stuff like that. So I think they get, influenced by stuff that they watch
Mhm.
to give them the idea to want to go do
Well, let
things,
me look at yours.
not knowing that this is just what you seeing on the movie is really just entertainment. It's not real.
All right, so we are going to go on to the next question. Question number 7. But before we do, I'm going to ask everyone to mute your phone real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and pay these bills real quick. So this show, like all the other shows, is sponsored and funded by EmporiumPlus.org. EmporiumPlus.org is your
Mhm.
one-stop shop. If you can't find what you're looking for in this online store, then you are not shopping in the right store. Robert, can you please tell the people, all our viewers at home, what type of brands they can find at EmporiumPlus.org?
You can find fashions in all brands. Adaptive Parish Ladies First, Envy Forever, Still a Man, U-Serum, SOS Support Our Sisters, some merch in EmporiumPlus.org, and for our viewers or our subscribers. We appreciate you, and for those who haven't subscribed, hit subscribe, spam a comment, hit the like button. Thanks.
Okay. Patsy,
Active speaker avatar.
to you first.
Mute my audio.
Everybody else mute your phones. Patsy, I'm gonna go to you first. You alluded to this earlier in one of your answers. Should American civilians be allowed to purchase assault weapons, or should there be a ban on assault weapons overall?
Assault weapons, meaning like an AK-47 military style. Yes, they should be banned because if you're not in the military, on a police special forces like SWAT or something, that's specialty policing where they have those type of multi-bullet guns.
Exercises
Then
to build your
outside
knees,
of a regular
walking,
handgun.
stairmaster, treadmill.
Sean, mute your phone.
So yeah, they shouldn't be allowed. We shouldn't be allowed as civilians to own those guns. If you
Say
have
what?
just a regular handgun, that's fine.
You said to build your knees.
Anything
Walking
military
helps
style.
build your knees. Okay.
Patsy, you got more?
Nope, that was it.
All right. Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. So the question is, should American civilians be allowed to purchase assault weapons, or
I don't.
should America ban them overall?
I think no. I do not think Americans should be able to purchase assault rifles. What do you need them for? I mean, we're trying to get control of the guns and have less killings and this and that, and putting these types of weapons in the civilian's hand doesn't help the situation, in my opinion. And as far as banning them, I mean, yeah, I guess you can go with banning them, considering I don't think that we should be able to purchase them on our own anyway.
All right, thank you. Everybody mute your background if you're not being asked a question, please. Bird, you with us?
Yeah.
All right, B, this is the question. Should American civilians be allowed to purchase assault weapons, or should they ban said weapons overall?
I mean, it sounds politically correct, but reality, this is another $1 billion industry, that would suffer, that donate all this money to certain political parties and that support these gun laws. And I mean, we have a right, constitutional right to bear arms. So you can't, if you say you can't do this, then you're going against the Constitution and it's not your place to do that. So you have a right to bear arms. You have a right to protect your family. So, I mean, I don't know if you need an AK-47 to protect your family, but again, that has a lot to do with it's state to state. You break in my house in Florida, I kill you. You break in my house in Massachusetts, I kill you, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
So one for all and
It,
all for one. If we're gonna stand our ground, we stand our ground. If we're not gonna allow every state, I mean, they've been doing like major background checks, and maybe this person didn't have much of a background, or I don't know what type of weapon he went in there to use. And I don't think an assault rifle should be allowed to a 22-year-old. I believe that, there has to be a different type of firearm license, to have if you want automatic weapons like that. But, people are authorized or they're legally able to have, I can go and get a hunting license and be allowed to buy a hunting rifle or a shotgun or something like that. But,
right.
you know, it goes state to state, and different laws affect different states differently. So, are we going to see a big mass shooting in Massachusetts? Probably not. And maybe a Huckleberry town or a Huckleberry state where these gun laws are too easy and you can just, all you need is an ID. And you might get a couple of days to, check your credentials before you can actually walk out the store. But I mean, if he bought this assault rifle, he must have passed certain guidelines that were allotted by the law for him to have it.
Mhm.
That needs to
The-
change. And that
What's
will
the
probably
question?
put people away for that. They won't be able to get those type of firearms. But you don't need an assault rifle to cause a mass shooting. You can shoot with a handgun and change a clip and whatever and keep shooting.
Okay. Timmy, then Kiana. Same question, Timmy. Should American civilians, be allowed to purchase assault weapons, or should they ban them outright?
assault weapon has no business being in the hands of a civilian. They're not in the military. What you need, an assault rifle, that is a war gun. You're not going to war with anybody. You can purchasing this weapon because there's loopholes there where, like Bird said, in certain states they allow these cats to get guns at 18 years old, assault rifles and whatnot. And they do thorough background checks and whatnot. But let's be real. We see more uh, white folks that are doing mass shootings now. They definitely broadcast these mass shootings, but in the neighbor in the hood, there's people getting shot and killed every goddamn day, 4 or 5 people at a time and whatnot. They're not making it a big issue when it's in the neighborhood in the city, but as soon as it happens in these towns that, like Bird said, they well relaxed on these gun laws in certain states, and so it disables these people with unstable mental to get hold of things and lose control by killing people.
Okay. Say less, say less. Duchess, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, somebody, whoever's TV that is, mute that. Hear you. Kiana, the question is, should American civilians be allowed to purchase assault weapons, or should they ban said weapons outright?
No, there's no need for an assault weapon. That is a weapon for the military. Why is anyone on the American streets, country, whatever, walking around or wanting or needing an assault rifle? So I don't believe that there should be. And the Second Amendment was talking about muskets and muzzle guns, and so assault rifles was nowhere near on their thoughts and process, and all the money that these companies buy, I mean, use to lobby these crooked um representatives. That money could be going towards mental health, hospitals, like care of people, even freaking feeding the hungry. So um, yeah, no, I don't believe that we could have.
Okay. We're gonna go to Tony and then to Robert. Tony, what's your views?
It's a common sense issue. You don't need 30 rounds a second to protect yourself. That's not violating your right to bear arms to say that you can't have an assault rifle or have a multi round shooting gun. It's common sense. It's just like everything else. It's a money. It's money. The people who manufacture it, they support their political beliefs, and that's why it's not law. It's common sense.
Okay. Like it, like it. Robert?
Audio now unmuted.
Sorry, I don't know the question.
So the question is, should American civilians be allowed to purchase automatic weapons, or should they be banned altogether?
Said to me, I'm just gonna go ahead and agree with Tony. I was gonna say something else because I'm underneath the belief everyone should be allowed to have a gun. I just found out there's no discrimination on a blind man getting a gun. I gotta get in line tomorrow.
Okay.
You're gonna hurt yourself. Don't do that.
Let me know how that turns out. You got more?
Mute my audio.
That's it.
Mute my audio.
All right. Tanya and then Gregory.
Repeat the question, please.
So the question is, should American civilians be allowed to purchase assault weapons, or should they ban them overall?
I don't think that I alluded to this earlier, that I don't think that Americans civilians should be allowed to purchase assault weapons or bump stops or whatever that cause you to shoot those many rounds at one time for protection. However, with the way that this country is going and how vulnerable we're becoming to attacks, we're going to need to either protect ourselves from our own military or protect ourselves from an invasion from Russia.
Okay. Gregory?
I'm gonna go back to what I was saying earlier. Because this is a real issue and that these things are already here, we need to have more of a acceptance to it and sending kids to school to learn about guns and how to fire them and have these safety classes because it's going to change the way that people think about guns anyways. It's gonna make it into a safer environment. You're gonna be punished if you do something outside of the things that they're teaching you. So It's kind of crazy because we have the right to bear arms, but there's no education behind it or type of structure behind it. It's just a wild, crazy. I don't know who started making guns in the first place. It must have been some type of killers.
Smith and Wesson.
All right, G. Thank you, thank you. Tony, we're gonna come to you next with question number 8. Has the internet become a breeding ground for immorality?
I'm sorry, that's me?
Yep, that's for you, Tony.
I'm sorry. Yes. Don't really know how to elaborate. I think it's obvious. Of course, like anything else, I mean, the internet kind of magnifies everything. So when it comes to that, yeah, that'd be my short answer.
Okay. Patsy, same question.
Yeah. And then if your mindset that you, and it also plays into like your mindset, your personality, and how you believe anything, what you believe in. So, if you allow that to influence you, I feel sorry for that person. But yeah, it can interfere in with people's morals.
Okay. Timmy, same question. Has the internet become a breeding ground for wickedness?
Of course it is. I mean, since the internet came into existence, it's been a roller coaster ride.
Okay.
They had the what was that? It was the internet dude. He was selling all types of things on the internet. Weed, coke, anything you want, guns. What was they call it? The something path, the cyber something it was called. I forget what they called it, but this dude was using the internet. And they still doing it now. They cracked it down more, but they still doing it where they prosecuting young chicks on Backpage and whatnot. So yeah,
Okay. Robert, same question. Has the internet become a breeding ground for wickedness?
Audio now unmuted.
Yeah, that's the new Hollywood of wickedness. They get to go up there and perform at their finest. So I say, yeah. I mean, you can hide behind that. No one sees you for the punk you are, or the fool you are, the thief you are, the child molester. Whatever. They just cannot see who you are because you're hiding behind your phone, your computer, or whatever it may be, the internet. So yes, it's a place. It could be used as a place of wickedness due to individuality.
Okay. Okay. Ah,
Mute
let's
my audio.
Duchess, you with us?
Yes,
Same question.
please repeat it.
Got it, got it. Has the internet become a breeding ground for immorality?
I mean, the internet is a reflection of the people in society. So people in society there's a lot of people who are immoral. And so immoral people tend to find each other and make a loud noise.
I'm loving these answers tonight. Bert, what you got for us? Turn your mic on, B.
I believe the internet is the factual breeding ground for the wickedness you speak of because it allows the molesters to meet children on video games and chat sites. The black market is even worse. You can get so much shit off the internet right now. It's disgusting, and that is the major influence in our up and coming society. Is the internet has destroyed our society and our upbringing because now kids are being raised by the internet. We didn't have computers or cell phones or tablets or none of that. We were able to be children playing in a children's role, not a child learning adult shit through the internet. And it's a breeding ground for cults and black market and dark side of the internet. It was the worst thing that happened to us as a society.
Preach, preach, preach. G Money, what you say?
Because they got all this AI and artificial intelligence stuff going on right now, and you start to question things like, what is the internet, anyways? And did they create the internet, or is this something that they just tapped into? And now they're using this global system that's probably something deeper than what we even know. It has its own mind because it's like a McDonald's, right? And they can't keep serving people if people aren't consuming. So when you hop on the internet, your body, the man in the machine, your body's a machine. Whatever you're putting into your body is the same as eating or consuming something to the brain with your knowledge.
Love it. T, what you say, beloved?
I say that it is the breeding ground for wickedness because it allowed people who were already wicked to show who they really were.
Okay. Sean, what do you have for us?
Yes, I think it's a breeding ground for immorality because, as Sister T said, all it did was those that were probably in that world, it just gave them an outlet and a community to gravitate to and to justify because they realize that there's others out there that's just like them.
Okay. Stay with
Oh,
me, Sean. Somebody
David,
got rebuttal? Go ahead.
no rebuttal. I just want to ask something. Someone said that people they on the internet they find people who are just like them, and wicked people get together and make a big noise.
That was
Yeah,
Kiana.
Kiana.
So
Yep.
us who are moral people who are moral need to get together and make a bigger noise.
I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, y'all are dropping jewels tonight.
Hello.
Sean, let me
Yes,
hit you with
sir.
number 9. All right. Let's see. Should security drills be mandatory in every school level based upon these reoccurring shootings?
Absolutely. Should have always been the criteria. I remember when I was growing up, we had the atomic and nuclear bomb drills. We have fire drills.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we have security drills?
Yes, yes. Tanya, what do you say?
I agree with Sean. I agree with Sean. We need to start to think about security drills on an invasion. I'm telling you,
Okay.
all around security because our national security defense is weak. They got the inmates running the asylum, so us as a people, we the people need to really start thinking about our own security, securing each other.
Preach.
Gregory, it's on you.
I've been so it should be implemented from a young age. Kids should know how to protect themselves with firearms. That way, it's gonna scare the people that actually think that they have one up on the other people because they know something about a firearm or something. Eliminate a problem.
So what about in the sense that getting them prepared to how to evacuate or protect themselves, take cover in case of a school shooting?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. They shouldn't have to be trying to take cover if they're shooting back. We don't want defense. We want offense.
Okay. All right, I hear you. I get
I
it.
Shit.
oh,
Bird,
I think the two go hand in hand, but okay.
wait. I'm gonna go to Bird after Kiana. Kiana, go ahead. Finish saying what you were saying.
I think the two go hand in hand, and you need to learn offense and defense. And I believe that a lot of these kids already are learning defensive techniques. I don't know if they're learning offensive techniques. I don't know if I had a 6-year-old, I want them to be assimilated with gun maneuvers and all that other stuff. But
I feel
I
like it'll get
mean,
taken
when
more
you are,
serious at that point, Gummo. If
Mm-mm.
you have these kids learning this stuff at the young age, they're gonna take guns more serious.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
well, I would say this: when you are in the home of the person who is in law enforcement, they tell them to basically teach your family to know about guns so they're not curious to touch your firearms. So, I mean, again, it depends on, I believe it depends on the level of maturity of the child. I don't think the age
Yeah.
is determined.
Okay. Bird, what do you say? Turn your mic on, B.
What was the question again?
The question is, should security drills be mandatory based upon these reoccurring shootings, school shootings?
I mean, I know they do safety drills in schools now. I would hate to see the church have to open that door because again, that just like school, but I would think that, God's temple is should be a protected place where people feel safe. Schools, we got sick people. I mean, churches, I would think maybe that needs to start getting implemented what to do if something happens, just in case people can be educated to duck, to hide, to go into a room somewhere if something happens.
I
Just like
agree.
they're doing it in schools. They're doing it in school. They're doing regular drills for crisis like this, how to lock doors. Schools are being equipped with certain mechanisms to lock those doors so no one can get in if there is a violation of some sort. So maybe we should implement it into the churches just as a safety measure. But kids especially to know what to do in
Do
case
you
this
like
happens.
me?
I agree. I agree. B, you got more?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, so we heard from, let's go,
You ain't gonna hear
let's
from
go
me
to
yet.
Timmy and then Patsy.
Now, there is, I think that the kids should not learn anything to do with guns unless they're mature. I can see them
Has left the meeting.
of age like 16, you know, but under 16, no, because if you have your weapons available, they know where they at. Then they would. That's how kids bring guns to school because
Wait.
their parents left their guns. They let their kids know where the guns at, and then they say, "Oh, it'd be cool to bring it to school and show my friends." And then something happens.
And how do
You
you
know,
feel?
Bullying going on in
And
school.
how do you feel about the children having security drills in schools in case of a shooting, evacuations, how to protect
oh,
themselves?
definitely. Like Sean said, we have fire
Is joining
drills
me.
and nuclear bomb drills and stuff like that. You know, why not? It's getting dangerous, so you need to be on. If they can uh train and keep the damn police officers and them
Is your
and
car driving well?
knowing what to do when it
Did you fix
comes
your AC
to
too?
some type of
I think you just need to
situations
press
like
AC
that,
because
then they
it
could
seemed like
do
it
it
was
for the
working
damn
fine to me
kids
when I drove it.
to make sure they protect themselves and make sure they
But I put the windows
it
down
be
because it was
less
nice outside. It wasn't hot.
casualties than with you know then it'd be less casualties, then you have more people alive.
Okay, okay. Patsy, what do you say?
Yeah, I think it should be evacuation and security measures, training for the students and everything because it's like Sean said earlier, it's like you have fire drills, so why can't you um have these little trainings and drills for when there's a shooting happening where the doors locked and there's certain boards um to cover like the if you're in a room that has windows, you put certain things up on the windows so that way it's less likely to um get the bullets in and they should just put windows up there are like bulletproof. So yeah, it's like certain little things that you can actually teach the kids and doing drills so that they're aware of how to proceed in that type of emergency.
Okay. Tony,
Fuck it,
what's
let's
your
just put
check?
fucking bulletproof tables.
Tony, what's your
Yeah.
perspective?
So you presented it as mandatory. At the risk of sounding cliche, mandatory is a strong word. You know, people are going to push back on that. Should it be proposed, considered? Of
Mhm.
course, it should. Why not? It definitely should be, and considered by the school board or whatever, and then implemented if the majority thinks that's what should be done. But there's no what can be the bad in that, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know,
Loving these answers. Loving these answers. Rimmich, did you get a chance to answer this question?
No.
No, I haven't yet tackled it. I would say I think that they should, if they haven't already, are doing drills. It can be a difference maker in saving
Mm-hmm.
one of your children's lives and them returning home from school. I will say this too. I think they need to sit these kids down, the teachers, the principal, and they all watch this movie called Toy Soldiers.
Oh yes, a great movie.
These
Mm-hmm.
children had to
With
do what
Dr.
they had to
King.
do. And in the case of that time that might occur in that school or any school, these kids should be equipped with the knowledge of knowing some type of survival that's going to help each other if the teacher cannot be there for them. So, trust falls, trusting each other, communication, hiding, knowing where the hiding spots are. When you get outside the meeting ground zone, what you would call the safe zone or the safe spot, all of this should be practiced, and let them see that movie and talk about what they need to be doing with their means.
All right, stay there because I'm gonna hit you with the last question of the night. And everybody, as always, once you answer the last question of the night, you can either log out or mute yourself. Robert, the last question of the night is how does Minneapolis move forward after this tragic event?
As every bad thing that happens in life, take it as a learning experience. Um, Try to come up with a solution to prevent this from ever happening again. I know it sounds easy said than done, but like we said, you got to implicate a lot of different drills, a lot of sitting down meetings, probably with teachers, parents, school council, whatever it may be, the city, the people that's on the top of the thing, and let them know these are ideas. This is what we consider to be going to be a new safety policy or something for our students moving forward. Because trying to protect the innocent and the young and the children, without them, you kill them all off. What the hell we got left to look forward to? We're going to be dying soon. These children are no longer going to be here. They don't have a fair chance if this continue.
Thank you for your participation and your insight. I
Mute my
appreciate it.
audio.
Patsy, what do you say? How does this Minneapolis community move forward after this tragedy?
Like Robert said, making meetings and stuff to implement, and like we said before, like teaching the children drills, like we do the fire drills and whatever drills that schools do now. What we did in the past with bomb drills and stuff like that, but also like in to help the kids through this tragedy. A lot of therapy and maybe having a time frame for the teachers um to actually allow the children to speak about it with maybe one or two therapists in the room and different times of the day for each classroom and stuff like that, just to help them to evaluate and speak their mind and their feelings and stuff like that. I always had that door open for the kids, especially so the children especially can move on from this tragedy, um and having an open door for the parents to be able to seek out therapeutic um situations where they can actually talk about how scared they were for their children, because it's just as scary for the parents worrying about their kids getting hurt. So it's like everybody needs a little bit of help to get past the situation and to kind of like continuing these different techniques to kind of keep the kids feeling like they're safe and they're able to speak out whenever they feel like it. It could be the next 6 months, but they need this over a period of years too.
Mm-hmm. Well said, well said. Patsy, thank you for your participation and your insight. I appreciate you. Timmy, mini skirt version, my brother. How does the Minneapolis community move forward after this tragedy?
Well, it's just like in any city that they band together, they mourn together, and they they are they come, like Robin said, they come up with solutions and things like that. So I say this too, where I think even more than ever now that you need to implement uh, uh, mass shooting training, especially if they're gonna take the kids' cell phones from them where they can't use them in school. See, these are the things that you have to think about because if it's a mass shooting, now the kids can't call their parents. You know, they can't let them know something's going on. They can't reach the damn downstairs because those people probably already got killed. So now they hear the shooting and whatnot. So they get on the phone and panic and call their parents. The parents call the police or whatever. So you have to think about these things while they implement these things into our life. Then they want to try to take those things that could save a life.
Well said. Well said. Thank you for your participation and your insight. I appreciate you. Gregory, same question. How does the Minneapolis community move forward after such a tragedy?
It's sad to say this, but the same way all those other cities had to move on from their school shooting because it will be another one, unfortunately.
Okay. Thank you for your insight and your participation. I appreciate you. Bird, are you still with us? B, turn your mic on.
Yep, I'm here.
All right. Let's get your views on this. How does the Minneapolis community move forward after such a tragic event?
I think they should start educating parents to see these red flags in these children at an early age. Um, you know, it comes down to the beginning. The root of this is home. These kids have shown signs of sickness many years before they act on it. So I would say we should be meeting and educating parents more on identifying certain things in their children at an early age. Again, this just didn't happen this year to this guy. This person's been struggling for many years with, I believe, his sexuality, from what Kiana was saying, and the church is against this, and and I'm kind of contradicted. The church is against it. The Christian church is against homosexuality, but they've been covering up these pedophile priests for decades on their madness that they've been hurting and abusing these children for many years, and the Christian church has been covering that up. So it needs to start somewhere at home and pay attention to your children and if their behavior is changing. And so I don't know. I would say it starts at home somewhere, move forward.
Okay, love it. Appreciate you. Thank you for your participation and your insight. Okay, we got Tony K, we got Tanya, and we got Sean and Kiana. Let's see. Let's get a lady's perspective. Duchess, you ready?
Yeah,
Okay. What's your views? How does this community move forward after such a tragic event?
I mean, day by day, helping and lifting up each other. Um, Try to put things in place. I mean, can you really put things in place that will prevent it if you're not getting to the root cause of what's the cause? And like Bird said, I say this a lot. I believe that there's neglect with parents actually being parents and not their kid's friend or kid's associate, or being afraid to not be liked by your kid, or all this other BS that people are feeding themselves to negate their parental responsibility. And if you don't want to be a parent, don't have a child.
Love it, love it. Thank you for your participation and your insight. I appreciate you. Okay, we got Sean, we got Tanya, and we got Tony K. Let's hear from Tony. Tony, what are your views? How does this Minneapolis community move forward after such a tragic event?
All of the above. It's Minneapolis strong. It's going to have to be reflection. There's going to have to be solidarity. There's going to have to be revision. They need to, just like all these other tragedies, it's just they got to get through the trauma and get through all that part, and then they got to reflect on it and they got to do something about it. They can't, at some point we're all going to figure this out. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I don't know how many incidents it's going to take, but each one, I think, hopefully draws us closer to, at least reducing these incidents. But I know this world's crazy.
Well, let me say this, Tony. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for logging in, and I look forward to having lots of meaningful conversations with you in the near future. Thank you for your participation and your insight. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Let's see. Sean, let's go to you next. How does this community move forward?
I like Tony's answer. They have to come together and rely on each other and definitely pray and commune and just try to uplift one another.
Well said, well said. Thank you for your participation and your insight. I appreciate you, good brother. Tanya, it's on you, beloved. How does the Minneapolis community move forward?
I'm going to agree with everything that was said before, and I'm going to add that they need to come together as a community. They need to have group therapy. They need to have individual therapy, and they need to have a deeper connection and understanding with their Lord and Savior.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you for your participation and your insight. I appreciate you. God bless you. Hey, for all my remaining panel members, turn your mics back on. I have a message for you and the world. All right? Everybody got your mics on? All right. Yep. Here we go. So, this message is for all of God's people.
My audio button.
Again, I said, this message is for all of God's people. Both prayer and love needs to be your weapon of choice. So let the world hear your voice. Let the church say amen.
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 All right, this has been a Still a Man podcast show. See you guys next week. God bless you.